The biggest foreign investment yet by a Chinese firm in Hungary has been announced. CATL Technology, the world's biggest maker of electric car batteries, is to build a new $7.6 billion factory in the east of the country. It's hoped the site will produce parts of the new carbon-neutral brand of Mercedes-Benz vehicles. Well, let's talk now to Marc Ostwald, who's Chief Economist and Global Strategist at ADM Investor Services. So, Marc, we heard there that Lenovo and CATL opening big plants in Hungary. Why is it so popular?
Well, it's certainly about incentives, and the Hungarian government has for a long time been trying to incentivize investments from outside the EU, particularly Russia and above all China. Understandably, it needs it to build up its infrastructure. The cattle one is obviously far more significant in many ways than the Lenovo one, just in money terms and above all in terms of moving to renewables and making it a hub there and a big competitor to anyone in Europe. So I find it totally understandable, and I also find the decision to put it in Hungary also very understandable, because they are trying to attract that sort of investment. And overall, net, on a commercial basis, it makes more sense for cattle and for Lenovo to basically go there.
So when it comes to Chinese investment in Europe, is Hungary an outlier, do you think?
An outlier? I don't think so. The Chinese Belt and Road project has been targeting Eurasia and above all Central and Eastern Europe, above all because it's actually it's commercially of interest because it facilitates exports to Western Europe, a big demand area, and secondly because it's actually, relatively speaking, much more cheap to produce there, both in terms of land, in terms of labor, and in terms of logistics. Hungary is right in the middle of Europe. It's an ideal place for distribution. Why not go there?
So how significant is this investment economically for Hungary?
Rather less so. It's certainly going to be a boost, but it then becomes an issue of how many other companies will follow, not only from China, but from the rest of the world. And in terms of the confrontation between Hungary and the EU, one suspects it will be rather less. That doesn't necessarily mean that other companies from Asia, from Russia, won't be attracted to Hungary, but it does mean that for a lot of other people, the attractions of perhaps getting some subsidies from the EU for investment will not be as great, simply because those subsidies won't be available to companies investing in Hungary.
Marc, good to talk to you as always. Thank you for joining us. That's Marc Ostwald from ADM Investor Services.